Stampers, welcome to my Facebook Live. So nice to be here with you guys again. I have been making a lot of cards, masculine cards, guide cards. I'm so excited about this new catalog. I was talking about it earlier. The new catalog has so many great guy stamps. And if you're looking for where they're at, it starts on page 78 of the new catalog. So I've been making a lot of guy cards. Father's Day is around the corner, and brothers' birthdays, and husbands' birthdays, and all that good stuff. And thank you cards for those guys that help us out in the neighborhood. So tonight I'm going to use the Let's Set Sail stamp set. But look at these other ones here. We got Wildlife Wonder. I made a couple of cards with these I'm going to share with you. I like this one here with the beer and the ale. I made a couple of cards with that. And they got the whiskey and the cheers to you and more camping and wildlife and boating. So a lot of great, good for you Stampin' Up. I love it. Really nice. So here's the card that we're going to make tonight. And also just make a little tag, So you always can use tags. And so I thought we'd make one really quick. So, also I am using the new In Colors. This is Starry Sky and Sweet Sorbet, and the other new colors are Tahitian Tide, Parakeet Party, and Orchard Oasis. The reason I'm bringing this up is Stampin' Up! Has a great promo going on right now. And if you join Stampin' Up! To get the starter kit, which is already a good deal just in itself, for $99 you get to pick $125 worth of product. So you go through the catalog and you start going through and picking everything out that you want, totaling $125. In addition, let me show you this. Stampin' Up! Has a promo where they're going to give you for free all these stamp pads. I'm going to go back to my picture. The 5 stamp pads, you're going to get the cardstock, you're going to get grid paper, and you're also going to get the 6x6. Let me show you mine. I've been using it like crazy. The 6x6 designer series paper. Let me put mine in a clip here. So you get 6x6. There's like 48 sheets. Look at all these great pieces of designer series paper. So anyway, just wanted to make sure I brought that up. And if you need more information, www.stampandshout.com is my blog. That's where I have all the information for that. You can email me at stampandshout@gmail.com, and I will answer all your questions. So now let's get to making this card. So starting off with the Starry Sky, 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. That's going to be our card base. Then I have 2 pieces of white, one for the front, one for the inside. Those are 5 1/4 by 4. Then I have a piece of that designer series paper, and that's 2 inches. Well, it's going to be by 5 1/4. So let me cut that really quick. So yeah, this designer series paper is double-sided. So you get a lot of use out of it. So then I have a couple of scraps of white circles. I've already cut them out. So I have that one. And I even went ahead and colored this one in, so we're going to talk about that. So that's Sweet Sorbet. That's one of my circles. This one, I thought I had it all done, and of course I'm not going to be able to find my, oh, here it is. This is my painted texture embossing folder, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do to create this color on here. So this is always the front, the one that has the Stampin' Up! Square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my Starry Night stamp pad and a little sponge dauber. And I'm going to ink that sponge dauber up. And I'm going to actually wipe some of this off because I don't want this really, really, really dark. I want it light. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put some color, and I'm putting this on the back side of the embossing folder. So again, the front has the Stampin' Up label, and I'm putting this on the back side. I'm actually going to bring in a little bit of a paper towel here and wipe some of this away because I don't want it dark at all. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this circle that I already cut out, and then I'm going to run it through the machine. And show you. So that's the look I want. Let me put my folder away. So I have two circles like that. This is the Sweet Sorbet, and this is the Starry Night. So I wanted to show you how I did that. And we're also going to do this for our tag. Same thing for our tag that we're going to make in a second. So now, what else am I going to do? So now I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sailboat. And I'm going to do the sails in the Sweet Sorbet. So I just have my little scrap here. And the secret with using this stamp, these stamps in this set, is just to do a real quick little stamp. Don't hold it in place too long. Just make sure it's nice and even, and go ahead and stamp that like that. And it's going to look weathered. It's going to look kind of, you know, tattered or whatever. That's the way it's supposed to look. It's not a perfect solid. Let me just show you up close. So yeah, there's some kind of little lines in there, and I think that's just the weathered look of our sailboat. And then I'm going to bring in the sailboat mast. And the thing, again, is just to do a nice little quick little stamp. And if you hold it down too long, I just want to show you, hold it there for a while, it just gets a big old blob. So that's your little tip for using the stamps. Just do a nice quick and light stamp, and as long as you have your pressure on there evenly, you're going to get a great stamp image. So now for my little secret, there is a punch that goes with this stamp set. And you know me, I do love the punches, but I didn't buy this one because I thought I can fussy cut this, right? So I can cut out a triangle in no time flat, right? So I didn't get the punch. So I just wanted to tell you that. I'm here to help you out. I'm here to give you tips. Unless you're really a hater of fussy cutting, you can get the punch. But I wanted to save my money for other things like this stamp set here, Celebrating You. We're going to use the Happy Father's Day stamp in here. And again, for this card, you could use Happy Birthday, you could use Happy Father's Day. So great stamp set. We're going to be using that too. Now let me just show you. I do have all these already cut out. I just want to show you the mast. When you cut it out, I didn't cut the whole thing out. I just wanted to show you how simple it was. Even this long skinny piece here. Just going to cut it right up to the flag. And then just kind of wiggle around the top of it. And there you go. I'm sure other Stampin' Up! Demonstrators are going, no, don't do that, you know, but there's a punch. But like I said, I love my punches. I have lots of punches. They're fantastic, but I didn't buy it for this one, so that's totally up to you. All right, so next we're going to go ahead and glue this to our white piece on the front. These colors really go well together. In fact, I have made several cards where I've used all 5 of the in colors on one card. I'm going to show you a picture in a second. Okay, so I'm just putting that right there on the bottom of that white piece. Let me show you the cards I'm talking about. So this card here, all those flowers are the in color. And my little bird card here, I've made all the little sweet songbirds in all the different colors. So I really like the way they all go together. They're pretty. The orchid, I keep saying orchid oasis and the starry sky are similar, but they're different. So just want to make sure you know that. I'm going to go ahead and glue these two together, and then we're going to pop them up on the front of our card. So I'm kind of just overlapping them like that. That kind of made me think of, you know, like the sun, the sky, how it gets in the evening when you're out boating. So we're going to do that. Then up here I am going to stamp my sentiment. And actually I should have stamped that sentiment before I glued this piece on, because then if you make a mistake you can always flip it over. And again, you got to be very, very light. I'm just cleaning my stamp. I didn't like that ink I had on there. Got to be very light with these polymer stamps. Be confident. And oop, there you go. Probably could have held it there for a second longer, but it looks good. Okay, so now, before I do this, I'm going to bring in some baker's twine. There are a few different baker twines out there. There's one from the mini catalog that's going to be discontinued. You have through the end of June, and that is the I think it's called Banner Designer Series or Banner Baker's Twine. But this one is the baker's twine that's in the new catalog, and you get well, actually I don't know if this is that one or not, but there is there's baker's twine, and it's in all the colors. Now that I confused you, just let me show you really quick. There we go, right here. So on page 146, right here, we have the baker's twine in the 2022-2024 colors. So you get all 5 colors. So that's very, very handy. So I'm just going to go ahead and tie a bow before I put the rest of the card together. So if you do have any questions about that Stampin' Up! Promo, let me know. It's a great, great deal. I mean, I don't know. They always have good deals. You know, they pop up with these promos every now and then. But this one is great. I mean, the colors are fun. You get all of them. You get the cardstock. So there's a lot that you can do with all that. So this is just a little bit loose. So all I'm going to do is turn it over and kind of squeeze this together, make it tight. And I'm going to add some tape. And there you go, perfect. And I'm just going to trim that up. Then I'm going to bring in my circles and bring in my dimensionals. So I'm trying to pick my day, ladies, for coming out here and doing my videos with you. I used to do them on, I don't know, I've done them on Wednesday nights, I've done them on Tuesday nights, and I think I'm going to try Monday nights at 7 because I have dog classes on Tuesday night. I have another dog class on Wednesday night with my daughter, so I think Monday night might work well. So if you're with me, go ahead and say hi. Love to hear where you're from, what you're up to. Leave your comments, ask your questions. Okay, now we're going to bring in our sailboat. So the mast, I went ahead and I glued down. So I just put a little bit of glue on here. making sure I get it on that skinny piece. Now I'm reaching over and I'm dabbing, just so you know. I have my little silicone mat always off to the side, and whenever I glue something, and I think if I put too much glue on there, I kind of dab it off on my silicone mat so that glue doesn't squirt out. I'm going to put this right there, and then I'm going to pop up my sails. So I'm just going to put one dimensional on each sail. I thought this would make a great graduation card because of the sentiments. You'll see when we put the inside one on. So this one's going to go near the bottom of the boat. This one's going to go just a little bit higher. Okay, I'm going to put this on the front of our card. Then we'll stamp our sentiment on the inside. Okay, so that's 5 1/4 by 4, and let's see, I think for the inside, oh, you know what all I wanted to put on there were a couple of birds. Let me do that in a second. So again, on the inside I'm going to put Adventure Awaits. So whatever theme you're making this card for, obviously stamp whichever one you'd like, but I thought for a graduation card, that sentiment goes really, really well. So let's put some birds here on the inside, because this stamp set has this cute little bird stamp. Let's make sure my birds are going the right way. Hang on a second. Again, you want to be real light. There we go. And if you want, you could put them on the front on your sailboat, but since I already went ahead and embossed that, I'm going to leave it alone, and I have my card all put together, and I'm afraid if I were to stamp those birds on the front at this point, it might not stamp evenly. So, but again, you can stamp your birds on the front. You don't need it, just a thought, afterthought of mine. So there you go. Let your dreams set sail. I'll play with my bow a little bit there. Adventure awaits. And on this one, I put Hope It's Your Best Day Ever. And again, those sentiments are in the Let's Set Sail stamp set. So I'm going to show you at the end of this video a couple other cards I made with this stamp set. So don't go away. I'm even going to show you a baby card, so that's going to be kind of fun. So now for the tag, again, I am using the Starry Sky cardstock, and I did the little circle just like we did on our card, where I put the ink on with a sponge dauber and then ran it through the painter's palette embossing folder. Then I have a scrap of crumb cake and a scrap of white. And I also cut the tailored tag out in white just because when I get all done, I want to be able to write on the back. So it's hard to write on that dark color. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and glue these two pieces together. Just looking to see, okay. Okay, so now if I want, I can write something on the back of that tag. Then I have my little circle and my sailboat. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and glue the mast on. Getting rid of that extra glue. So I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to go ahead and pop this up on this circle, or the circle up on the tag. So that's going to go about right there. Now I'm going to stamp on this little piece of crumb cake, and I'm going to use the Sweet Sorbet, and I'm going to use the sentiment from Celebrating You, which I'm going to use Happy Father's Day. I'm going to stamp that on the oh, I did this opposite. I'm going to do it, let me fix it. So I'm going to stamp Happy Father's Day on the crumb cake. And I'm going to trim this down. So I'm just trimming this down. So that was about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch scrap by 2 inches. And I'm trimming it down. And I did this by accident on the other one. I originally stamped it on white, but I liked the crumb cake look better, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these two pieces together so it has a tiny bit of a white border. And I really like the way that just adds just a little tiny bit. It really looks cool. Then I'm going to go ahead and pop up my sails on here. Ooh, my doggy. I don't know if you guys heard that, my dog, when he sees somebody outside. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on my tag. Upstate New York, welcome. My daughter lived in Manhattan for about 8 years. She's home now. But oh my gosh, what a fun place to visit. I think I'm going to pop this up too. I don't know if New York's like it was a couple years ago. She's been here about 3 years, and I've heard it's changed a little bit, but we had so much fun, so much fun. Okay, so now I have a piece of, what was this called? This is a Sahara sand ribbon. It's on page 145 in the catalog. And I'm going to go ahead and put that through there like that. And again, I'm going to bring in that baker's twine. And I'm going to tie a little bow. So I will have all of the information about this card on my blog. So if you go to stampandshout.com, you will see a picture of this, and you'll see you can order supplies, you can get the measurements, and you can see all the photos. So I will have all that information there for you. Ooh, I think I got to do that one over. I have to do this a couple times, I can see. Just like that. Just have to play with it a little bit. We'll trim it up. Trim the top. And there you go. So we have our little tag. Isn't that cute? So yeah, the white's on the back, so you can write on it if you want to write some nice little note to your dad. But there you go. So Let's Set Sail was the stamp set. And again, I'll have all that information on my blog, so you can go there and check it out. I hope you enjoyed tonight's cards. I do want to show you, I always do this, I always forget. I always say I'm going to do something and I don't do it. This is the card and the video that I did earlier. And what was cool about this one, this was just stamped. Everything was simple stamping. I did cut out the sails and pop them up, but other than that, it's all just stamped. There's no texturing, there's nothing fancy about it, but I really, really like the way it turned out. Very simple. And then, I didn't do a video on this one, but here is a baby card. So again, I used the new in colors. This is the Orchid Oasis with the Parakeet Party. Then we put a little tiny heart on the sail. It says, welcome little one. And that sentiment again is in celebrating you. Where is it? Right there. Welcome little one. So this has so many good sentiments. And then inside, I didn't put anything yet because I'm not sure if I'm just going to write a note or what I want to say, but a couple babies are coming this summer, so I've got my card made for at least one of them. I don't know what the other one's going to be, so I'm going to have to wait and see if it's going to be a boy card that I make or a girl card. But thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate it. I'm so happy to be back here with you guys. Leave your comments and questions. I'll be sure to get back with you if you leave me a question. I think that's it. So don't be shy. Stamp and shout. Have a great night.